Hello, I'm Theo Gilbert-Jamison, and in this series we are covering creating wow experiences for our customers through our 11 simple ways to create customer loyalty and delight. How we interact with customers is the first step in creating an exceptional experience, and it's best exemplified in Standard 1, which is to greet everyone with a warm and friendly smile. So here are examples of how we can bring that to life. Well, we should always smile, making eye contact, and addressing our customers by their preferred name when possible. Next, we should always promote a work environment that is courteous and respectful of everyone. And remember to practice the 10-foot rule, which is to acknowledge customers with a smile once they come within 10 feet of you and extending a sincere greeting once they are within 5 feet. And if a customer appears to be lost or confused, escort them to their intended destination instead of pointing out directions. And if you are unable to escort them, find someone who can. Most of all, be courteous in your speech, using words and phrases like good morning, good evening, good afternoon, please, thank you, and I'd be happy to. And most of all, when greeting customers, always avoid using slang and business acronyms that might be confusing, greeting them clearly and with warmth and enthusiasm. Taking initiative is the next step in creating an exceptional experience, and it is best exemplified in Standard number 2, which is to anticipate and comply with customer needs. So my question to you is, what are examples of how we can bring this standard to life? Well, I would say that it starts with being proactive, not reactive. You see, to exceed expectations, we must take care of customer needs way before they have to ask. It's also important to focus on the individual needs of the customer. So always be responsive to their needs, expressed and unexpressed, again, before they have to ask. And last, always take ownership and responsibility for every request. We should never say that's not my job. Simply put, if you can't assist the customer yourself, work quickly to find a coworker who can. Personalizing the experience is also important in creating an exceptional experience. And it is best exemplified, of course, in Standard 3, which is to learn something unique about each customer, to personalize the experience, and to create loyalty and delight. So I have a question for you. And it is, what are examples of how we can bring this standard to life? Well, of course, I have some answers. First of all, we should be observing our customers to learn more about their likes and dislikes. That's a great start. Then use what we've learned to personalize or tailor each interaction that we have with them. Also, seeking out opportunities to build lasting relationships could start with things like finding out what we have in common. Are we from the same hometown? Do we like the same types of hobbies? And in closing, remember, you are empowered to create unique, memorable, and personal experiences for your customers. So when possible, utilize company resources to document, track, and communicate customer preferences so you can share pertinent information across all departments. Name recognition is also important in creating an exceptional customer experience, and it's best exemplified in Standard 4, which is to use the customer's name when and if possible. So the question is, what are examples of how we can bring this standard to life? Well, remember, in using the customer's name, it's the most powerful way to instantly build rapport and to make a positive first impression, and most of all, to make them feel valued. So always address customers by name using Mr., Ms., Mrs., or their preferred name. Remember, don't be overly familiar using their first name or nickname unless they ask you to. And when meeting a customer for the first time, concentrate fully so that you can listen to their name and hear it properly, and then repeat it in the conversation. But be careful not to overdo it. And of course, always wear your proper name tag so customers can also address you and acknowledge you appropriately. Nonverbal communication is extremely important in creating an exceptional customer experience, and it's best exemplified in our Standard of Excellence number 5, which is to use eye contact to indicate that you are interested and attentive. So the question is, what are examples of how we can bring this standard to life? Well, it starts with positive eye contact, which again is nonverbal communication that demonstrates that you are engaged in the conversation or in the interaction. On occasion, you should nod your head to demonstrate that you are attentive and interested in what is being said. That's called active listening. And when you're conversing with the customer, always give them your undivided attention to fulfill their needs. Most of all, never forget the 10-foot, 5-foot rule, which is to acknowledge customers or coworkers with a smile once they come within 10 feet of you, and a warm greeting of good morning, good evening, or good afternoon once they reach within 5 feet of you. Demonstrating empathy is another key component in creating an exceptional customer experience, and it's best exemplified in Standard 6. Listen carefully and empathically with your ears, eyes, and heart. So the question is, what are examples of how we can bring this standard to life? Well, should a customer approach us with a complaint or a problem, we should always respond with empathy, which is to understand the situation from their perspective relating to their emotions. This means that we need to listen carefully at what they're saying without interrupting and pay close attention to, of course, their body language. In closing, also be careful that your body language is approachable. When dealing with a problematic situation, remember to smile and to refer to the person by name. This makes you approachable to others who will be more readily to share ideas, concerns, and feedback.